Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Oh, so, another week, another stream. Yeah, fun stuff. Alright, so this week is just a smidge different than normal. We have, as you can see on my screen, starting, hey Kyle, is the 36-hour EX Ultra exclusive capsules. I am going to roll on this. I just want to see what happens. But not right now. I'm going to do it at the end. First, we're going to go through our normal cycle. We're going to check out the event shop. We're going to check out, welfare, then event shop, gacha stuff, Twitter videos, alterations, and then I'll hit up the gacha. And then we'll do a quick kind of a final recap, I guess, for this account as more or less a sayonara to it. As let me double check something here. Okay, technically the 31st, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get cracking on the new content, because, yeah, it's these streams are now at like 11 p.m. because of daylight savings time, so, like, it's super late. Hey, Delta, hey, Alex, hey, everybody. Alright, so we'll start off with the Zagok E, or Zagok Experimental, and as it is a 4-part suit plus pilot, so technically 5, totally worth it to bingo. Now, Zagok Torso with integrated head, EX Skill Torpedo, B Power, D Pierce. This looks like a really bog standard skill. You just fire a quick rocket out. It's, guided torpedo, 6-second initial, 21 base, so it's just a really low cooldown. It's nice seeing a welfare though with a B power skill on a really short cooldown. I've mentioned that before when we see it, so thought they did away with daylight savings time. America might have. I remember hearing that they're thinking about getting rid of it, but do you know how much would get totally thrown just like in disorder if they actually just straight up said no DST anymore? In the short term, it might be very interesting for a group of people, but like there's so many things now that are reliant on daylight savings time that like it's I guess the best way to put it is lots of software is built on that. So yeah, I can see a lot of problems. Just, yeah. Hey, Christian. Okay. Word tags for the torso. Amphibious heavy armor. Amphibious is not the most common tag. I think we have maybe 12 to 13 suits in the game that have it. It's kind of not the most common thing in the world. But it's also not that great. So it activates one good trait that I remember. Just one. Yeah. As for stats, it is an integrated part, so we are looking at much higher stats than normal. We hope. So, total melee after carryover, we're sitting at about 1,500 or so, kind of around there. And then for shot, we're sitting at about 4,100. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. For one, the majority of welfare torsos that we've seen over the last few months have broken 1,100 on both primary stats, and the heads that are more geared towards melee have pushed up 900, 1,000, like 1,200. Shot has pushed up to 3,400 to 3,800. These numbers are a real letdown with that in comparison. They're like 500 points shy of if the parts had been separated on a previous welfare coming in post Super Sokai. They're not terrible, mind you. As for the investment side of things, it's 1 part versus 2, so you do get a little bit of discount there. But as far as pure stats go, for an integrated part, it is less than the sum of the parts would normally be, which is kind of sad, honestly. 6 alter. God, you guys are... Why you gotta do this? Alright. Arms. Arm-mounted Mega Particle Cannon, D-Power Magazine. Completely worthless. Moving right on. Amphibious Heavy Armor yet again. Okay. And for stats... Okay. So we're looking at about, what, 2650 or so melee attack, and then shots like 1100. Really low stats, honestly, from like what we've seen from welfares. This almost like, it's really weird that on a Sokai, of all things, we're getting a welfare that has like really bad stats. Like, this is below, way below the average that we've seen so far the last few months. So that's a thing. All right, legs. Well, Amphibious EX skill cooldown reduced by 15%. All right, so that adds a second trait, I guess, that Amphibious activates. This one is significantly worse than the other. Well, okay, not significantly worse, because EX cooldown is nice, but in terms of it, one, being on a welfare, meaning you're not going to get the second trait until way later down the line when they finally give this welfare an alteration. But it is also the 15% modifier on EX skill cooldown instead of the higher 20% or the new highest 23%. It's not inherently terrible, as it is easy to activate. You just need the Amphibious tag, and the suit is packed to the gills with it. Amphibious joke. But overall, it's just not worth investing into Amphibious to get this, because it's this trait, one other trait, and the tag itself is just bad. All right. Amphibious for Tundra. So we've taken the heavy armor and inserted for Tundra instead. For Tundra is not a terribly common word tag either, but much more common than Amphibious. All right. As for stats, yeah, nope, it's equally mediocre. At least the shot attack goes over 1,000 base on this, right? Do keep in mind legs and backpack do have the lowest defensively statted distribution of the frame parts. So seeing this go over 1,000 is nice. It sits at about 1,400 or so, more like 1,300. Not bad, not great. Compared to previous welfares post Super Sokai, kind of on the lower end. We've seen them go like 1,600 or so. 1,300 kind of being the lower end of things, and that's kind of where this is sitting. Yeah. Kind of a lackluster part. And lastly, the backpack. Headbutt, A- Pierce C power. Very low cooldown, 3-second initial, 21 base. The C power does kind of kill a lot of the momentum. Headbutt, momentum. Yeah, no, mediocre, frankly. Amphibious for Tundra again, talked about that combo. And stats are, wow, these are straight yikes. We're looking at about 1,150, 1,200 or so melee attack, probably on the lower end, and like less than 600 shot. Honestly, the Zagok, someone did say it in chat, it looks like they've had it around for a while and no reason to put it out until now. These stats really come off as something that would have been nice pre-Super Sokai, okay post-Super Sokai, but as soon as we rolled over into the new year and we've had that swell of welfare stats going up well past, 3,400, 3,500 on the arms for melee, well over, 34, 3,500 for the headshot, stuff like that. This suit would, it kind of falls on the lower end. So in terms of like timeline, this probably was like ready to go out, I'd say October-ish, like September, October-ish, maybe a little before that, and they just delayed it and delayed it and delayed it and delayed it, and now it's coming out, and it's just not up to par. It is not inherently terrible. The stats on this suit alone are solid enough for you to do a lot of damage in most content, but in relation to recent welfares, it's on the lower end. I think we've only got one Amphibious standard anyways as well. Yeah, like I said, Amphibious is not a common tag. I know it's on the Atlas. That's the only suit that comes immediately to mind. We probably also have it on the Deep Blue Jin, or whatever it was. We probably have it on the Abyss. It's just not, it's not a common word tag at all. Okay. Okay, nothing else interesting in the chat. Cool. Overall, the Zagok, like I said, it just feels like an older suit. Now let's take a look at our pilot, Hardy Steiner. Wow, you definitely look like you'd be a man in an amphibious suit, let me tell you what. All right, trait. When shot defense is over 10,000, which is relatively easy to do once you get to a certain point in the game, 28% chance to not recoil. That means when we get smacked, you're not going to flinch. Super armor. Not really worth it, frankly. For Tundra, Amphibious tags. Interesting, he's kind of got the whammy of 2 not very common tags on there, which makes him relatively valuable, and that's kind of just like a pocket access to those tags in case. Interesting. As for stats, yeah, wow, hello, buddy. So you are a mid shooter. You have like 1,000 melee attack, which I guess isn't bad for a 3-star shooter type. And then for shot, you're like 1,600 or so. For a 3-star welfare, not bad. We've seen better, but not bad. That's good numbers, actually. Terrible tags, and the trait's kind of meh, but the numbers are nice, and, you know, make the best out of what you got. Our awakening chips are Mass Production, Federation, Commander, Transformer, and for Desert. Okay. Cool stuff. Okay. Neato. So, let's take a look at our gacha. Now, as the Barbados Lupus is a 7-star, I'm not going to be looking at it here. I'm just going to be looking at it in alterations. Yeah. We'll take a look at the, the Gautralatan, is that how you pronounce it? And the pilots, and we'll go from there. It feels like it's been forever since we saw a standard suit, but I know it hasn't. All right, Gautralatan head. Wow, you look... For some reason, I didn't think those were the eyes. And here we are. Oh boy. Okay. So, Beam Cutter. A- Pierce, B- Power. Very low cooldown, 3-second initial, 21-second base. Cool stuff. Attack enemies with a Beam Saber. I'll have to see the animation for that, but I really do not have high hopes. My hopes are in like basement level 5 here. All right, word tags, 4 space, high firepower. I don't like the 4 line of tags. I say this every single time. I think they could do much better. And because we still can't choose the map that we fight on in 90% of the content, yeah. High firepower though, nice. Although it's kind of a dime a dozen at this point. I guess this is just going to be another source of it. Statistically, we're looking at about, 1,900 or so melee attack, kind of spitballing around there. And then as for shot, 4,900. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe pushing towards 5k, but definitely on the lower side. Okay. In terms of post-Super Sokai creep, to be expected. Yeah. For a 4-star, it sits in the really high bracket, obviously, because post-Super Sokai creep. But overall, because of our insane access to 7 stars every single week, week after week after week after week, there's really no point in rolling anything but 7 stars anymore. They just have the best traits, the best stats. Yeah. Yeah. All right, moving on. Torso. Mega Beam Cannon and Missile Pod. D Pierce, B+ Power. Cutscene cooldown. Okay. Fire your Mega Particle Cannon, which is powerful enough to sink a battleship at a target. Most interesting. Now, as for stats, this actually has like a real... This is like Sokai levels before we had Super Sokai. We're sitting at what? Like 2,300 melee attack, give or take? And like 2,400 shot. It's kind of good. Yeah, most 7 stars will blow this completely out of the water, but as far as 4-star / 5-star parts go, this is pretty good. Statistically, definitely in the like top 5% in terms of stats. So, hey Xant, have you seen any of the new Witch of Mercury stuff? No, I really haven't. And it's kind of sad because I'm as soon as I saw like the title for it, I was like, hey, I've been busy. I've been I've been real busy the last week or so. You guys, people that follow my Twitter know what's up. I think I may have mumbled it in Discord once or twice, but yeah. Anyways, watch the trailer on stream. Ooh, okay, so that's kind of a danger zone thing. I've had it happen before where I have watched stuff, even though I follow like the guidelines that are laid out for like fair use. I still get dinged for it. I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit on this stream, but what I will do, I'll finish this stream up, I'll do my gacha rolls, I'll do my wrap up, and then I'll kick up a stream right after where we can just kind of talk about stuff, look at the new trailer, and all that fun stuff. Hopefully that kind of meets in the middle for that. It's just this stream, I do have to keep it, you know, kind of kosher when it comes to licensing stuff. Anyways, back to what we were doing here after I catch up to chat real quick here. Been out partying. Nah, so I did mention briefly last week about my brother having some people over and they were doing like birthday things in the house. That was a night. that was a night. I'll talk about it later. Anyways, focus. Focus, guys. Come on, stop derailing this. Okay. Let's continue. Arms for the Grotulaton. Beam Tonfa. Hey, we know that one. That's a good one. D Pierce, B plus power, very low cooldown, attack with blah 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 blah. Raise your melee defense by 29%. Okay, not a cutscene. I am going to have to see the animation on this. Because I saw Beam Tonfa and I'm thinking like, hey, we got some unicorn stuff going on here, and then nope. There's a panic moment. Okay. I guess I should look at the stats, but I already know I'm not going to be too shocked by it. Oh yeah, wow, hello. So we got like, what, 1800 shot attack and like 4200 melee. Oh, okay, hold on. Brain fart, there we go. That's better. Gotta look at it at the same level as everything else. So, we're looking at about 5400 melee attack and 23 chain shot. So as far as shot attack goes on 4-star / 5-star, that I think is probably top 10. That definitely feels top 10 to me. That is a really high value for shot without being a 6-star, or rather Sokai / limited. I think even within the Sokai limited pool, minus 7 stars, that's like really, really good for arms. Good stuff. Melee, though, it's sitting kind of Sokai tier for that. Pre-Super Sokai tier. Not bad. Oh, it's only a 10-second teaser for The Witch of Mercury? Okay. Maybe I will just play it and just, you guys can watch my face morph into sheer horror. Alright. Legs. While Force Space, EX skill power boosted by 35%. So, I guess we add another, so this is like, I think number 3 or 4 for traits that are activated by Force Space. We're slowly getting to a full suit worth. Impressive. However, it's just not really worth it at the end of the day. Force Space, as I've said, requires you to... You can read the numbers. It's a 3% boost in 90% of content versus 5% in the other 10% where you actually are in a Force Space map. We can't pick the map we play on in most modes. It's just... like, if you really want to do the super sweaty monster math, you're only technically losing out on like 0.3% or something of your offensive value, because you're getting 3% in your primary offensive stat as a tertiary tag versus a normal 5%. And then you're getting another 3% boost in your defensive stat, which like 30 or 40% is carried over to your main, which is another point and change. So you're getting 3% plus the 1 point and change or whatever, pushing you to 4%, 4.2, 4.3, whatever. And then you have your missing handful of decimal points there for 5%. So one could make the argument that the 4 line of tags is better, but 90% of the time too, it's just, it doesn't do enough. Force space is getting to the point where it kind of does, but it's really per player, frankly. All right, force space, close combat. The close combat's kind of a nice tertiary tag to put on this. It's a really accessible melee tag. And then as for stats, again, legs and backpack tend to be the lowest defensively statted of the entire frame, so keep that in mind. We're looking at about 2200 melee attack and about 22 shot, so definitely not bad. It's packing a lot of heat for a pair of legs, breaking 2k in both offensive stats, but obviously loses out to 7-star, and at the end of the day, it's more comparable to pre-Super Sokai tier suits. So the current meta is just like 7-star all day, every day, and they're super accessible, so it's really just no point to roll standard anymore, frankly. Is it possible to build a 100% chance to revive suit? Yeah, but why? It only triggers once. Unless you're going on those, 15% chance to revive with X amount of HP, I'm pretty sure those do only trigger once. But hey, if you want to try building a cockroach suit that actually has a 100% chance to revive without limits, be my guest. That'd be hilarious if that actually got pulled off successfully. And lastly, let's take a look at the beam rifle here. With power attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Okay, this is actually a really decent trade. Power attribute is super easy to get on a suit, just 5 power traded parts, and you get the EX skill cooldown reduction. As this is a build agnostic kind of trait, that's nice to see. Yeah. I would say this is kind of the winner of the entire suit, but I still wouldn't roll for it, especially considering it ends in it'll show up in the 4-star pick ticket pool in a few weeks. So, force space, high firepower, all right, and yeah, it's got some melee attack in there, good chunk of shot attack. Kind of what we should expect, honestly, from a post Super Sokai power creep suit. Nothing terribly jaw-dropping, especially when you compare it to the current meta stat parts. But for what it is, a 4-star / 5-star standard suit, available through the pick ticket store, this is a powerful suit. It's pretty much all it boils down to. The word tag selection could definitely be better, but overall, not a terrible suit. All right, let's take a look at our pilots. We'll start off with Diara Nadira. Oh, that's okay. When beam resist is under 10,000, EX skill piercing boosted by 22%. EX skill pierce is how much defense and resistances that your EX skill is going to ignore when damage formula is taken into account. We don't know what the formula actually is written out, so we don't actually know how much effect this has, but could be worse. If you have a bunch of double S plus power skills, maybe you want to throw in a little bit of piercing. Pilot is an infighter. Statistically, it has close combat. Another 4 Tundra. Very interesting. The close combat's nice. 4 Tundra is kind of, Was there even a... Yeah, there was a Tundra. Okay. I was just like, IBO Tundra? What? Anyways, stats. We're looking at about 1750 or so melee attack and about 1500 or so shot. As far as infighters go for 3 stars, that's pretty good. Not amazing, especially, with all the 4-star pilots we have available, build project pilots, yada, 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 list goes on. Yeah. Okay. For a 3-star pilot, acceptable. Not good, not bad, acceptable. And our 4-star pilot, Matt Healy. Shot damage raised 10%, so you're going to be taking 10% extra shot damage. EX skill power boost by 30%. The age-old mantra. Don't get hit. I think it comes into effect here. Just saying. Outfighter, Pro Tag, and 4 Forest. I like the Pro Tag. Not so much the 4 Forest. Statistically, ooh, okay, interesting stat spread. So we have about 2,800 or so melee attack, and then a ton of shot defense carryover. That's like, what, 1,200 or so shot attack? For an Outfighter 4-star to have that much shot defense is kind of weird, honestly. Yeah. Statistically, not bad for a 4-star base pilot. These are some pretty good numbers. Definitely not the highest we've seen, especially in the melee stat distribution pool. I'd say kind of mid-range. Kind of weird considering, pushing 3K almost. But we've seen pilots go over 3K not being build projects. So there's a little bit of competition in that pool. And he doesn't cut it, unfortunately. The trait is really good, though. The word tag for Pro Tag, nice. For Forest, subslot that out, please. Okay. Honestly, as a 4-star pilot, sure, man. Like, you do you. Definitely, I would say for melee, non-build project, he's probably in like top 5, top 10, kind of around there. All right, cool beans. Crack open alteration. Let's take a look at those Twitter videos and get ready to hate my life. Yay. Okay. What do we got here? Ah, yes, all red. Let's take a look-see. 400 fits thematically. Yeah, I figured as much. All right, so we have the arm. So this is the beam tonfa skill. Let's watch that again. No. Too easy to whiff. Very compact. Okay, that dash was actually really interesting. So do remember, this is on an extremely short cooldown. This is a 3-second initial, 21-second base, A- pierce, B- power. And you literally just run at them and smack them. The few things that need to be pointed out here, we don't know if there are iframes involved in this. If there are no iframes and you turn yourself into a giant flying hitbox, that's mediocre. But if you get iframes, cool. And that was the cutscene. That was the D pierce B plus power torso, where you just fire the big beam. Overall, looks interesting here. I saw some missiles being fired as well. Yeah, and it looks like the missiles are actually homing too, because you can see here, when it starts off, it fires some missiles, the ones on the right side there, and those home in. You can see those homing in with the smoke trails. And then the enemy is dead, and then the left side fires some missiles that just fly into the abyss onto the side, in the top there, because the enemy is dead. So the missiles have homing, so theoretically, if you kill the enemy quick enough, those missiles could start flying towards other targets on the map, which I think is really neat. Really great for moot clearing. The beam itself is a very wide-looking hitbox, kind of standard for that thing. Overall, for a 4-star pick ticket bird, hey man, like, sure beans. Okay. So at the end of the day, 1 out of 3 is nice. 1 out of 3 is maybe good. Like, sort of. And then the last one's just miss me with that. And is this good old Barbie? Ah, it is. All right. I'm expecting a copy paste for this, but surprise me, Bandai. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Hold up. Okay, I'm not remembering that from the original Lupus. My brain's probably having a brain fart right now. Regardless, that's on a super short cooldown, and it's sitting at, what was that? D Pierce, A minus power, 6-second initial, 21-second base. That's pretty good. And the cutscene. Oh yeah, that looks familiar. Same Army X? Yeah. There comes a point where you just look at so many parts, you just kind of forget them. I mention that every time, too. End of the day. Alright. Well, I don't really know what else to say. It's a new attribute, same suit for the Lupus. It's got the Awakening, it's got the cutscene, it's got the quick arm shot on super low cooldown that hits relatively hard. Cool beans. As for ye old Red with the bug eyes, yeah, I already talked about that. Copy paste OG loops. That does seem to be what they're doing with the attribute change stuff, is a lot of it's just like carried over. Sure. Okay. So let's take a look-see here. What do we got for alterations? I saw people saying a bunch of numbers and it scared me. Oh, that's why. So we had the Barbados, and then we have the, I'm assuming the Age 3, the Masala, Grays, Sengoku, and the full armor. Ugh. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a quick, like, 3-minute break to grab myself a drink, because I'm gonna need a drink for this. And we'll be right back. We'll be right back after these messages. Oh my gosh. Okie dokie. We're back. We're ready for the suffer. And I was getting a large drink, but I was also getting a snack because I realized there's just not enough. Not enough me to survive this. Because, so before the stream, I'd already had a couple of cold ones to kind of just enjoy the evening. I forgot about the stream. I thought it was a Monday for whatever reason. Brain no worky, big cook. And I also got into the harder stuff too, because again, thought it was a Monday. So here I am, like, I don't want to get something too strong, so I went and got myself some corn chips, something salty to kind of go with the alcohol. I really wish I had mango salsa to go with this, though. Mango salsa. Okay, anyways, let's focus, shall we? I guess we'll start with our Barbados, and we will go from there. Now, for anyone that hasn't watched me talk about alterations before, I'll sum it up here real quick. So, to begin with, I do not look at the stats for these. I only look at the EX skill / trait, and for 7-star scenarios, the word tags. Reason being, when it comes to going to alternate a part, the word tags do not change. The stats will increase. We have less than like 10 examples of this not being the case and the stats drastically differing. So I do recommend before you invest all of your capital and other materials to alternate a part, make sure the new stats are what you're looking for, because you can't roll it back. The only thing that does change in a drastic way is the EX skill / traits. That's all I focus in on. 7-star suits, I look at the word tags as well because I don't look at them in the gacha. So, now let's get crack-a-lackin'. So, Barbados Lupus, Alaya Vinyana. Okay, so pretty much what we saw from the original Lupus. Get a melee attack boost, speed boost, flinch resist. 49% melee boost is the third highest in the game. 59% is the highest. 54 is the second. 49 is the third. Not a bad boost. The 20% speed boost is kind of the cherry on top. The resist flinching mileage may vary. Pretty bog standard for the Alaya Vinyana boost. As for word tags, we have Pro Tag and High Mobility. Both of them are extremely on point thematically for this suit. Pro Tag, obviously top dog for melee, alongside Mobile Fighter, and High Mobility is a really nice tertiary tag. Activates a lot of stuff, gives you a little bit of melee attack. Okay, cool stuff. Okay, it's kind of what I expected. It's just a more statted version of the original Barbados Lupus Noggin. Torso. With Power Attribute Self, squad cooldown minus 19%. Long and short, if you have the Power Attribute, you get, or your entire squad gets a 19% cooldown reduction. On top of that, the second trait, shot attack down 20%, so you do 20% less shot attack damage. Your melee power is boosted by 40%. This is, again, a repeat of what we saw last week, where the new meta is not just CDR your suit, it's now CDR all of your suits at once. So the people that are able to get multiples of this part, one for all of their suits, and get them all to trait level 10, will have a significant advantage against anyone else. Do keep in mind, we have yet to see a part that has double EX skill cooldown reduction of the maximum value. Sometimes it'll be, EX power boost and cooldown reduction, or cooldown reduction and initial cooldown reduction. I don't recall a part that has had cooldown and cooldown on it. Meaning, when you get this part on 3 of your suits, you are immediately getting 3 times the returns in terms of cooldown versus somebody else. Granted, you lose 1% on each part. Oh no, 3%. Not a big deal. It's all like the 20 to 23% argument. End of the day, it's effectively the new meta. You can literally have 2 suits, or sorry, all of your suits will have 2 parts with this trait in it at max. Your entire team now has 100% CDR. And that's it. And there's nothing that you can do about it. The rest of the parts are open season, and you can party hard. Instead of having to slot, 5, 6, 7 parts in your suit for the cooldown reduction, no, you just slot 2. You're done. And just slot 2 on the other suits as well. It's ridiculous, but that's the new meta, and it just doubles up on this with the huge melee power boost to go with it. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. It's a really good part. Protag high firepower again, cool beans. Arms. 200mm arm rifle. Really not much has to be said here. A- power, low cooldown. Gets like a truck. Quick, boom, boom. Protag high firepower again. This is definitely going to be something because of the EX skill that you're most likely going to be looking at using as a custom skin part on a shot machine, more so than for a melee build. But hey, power to you. You can always front slot this and back slot something else. It's not like it's packing a ton of melee attack or anything. Jesus Christ, almost 7k. All right, legs. I said legs. When C power is over 300,000, which is super easy, melee power boosted by 40%. And while close combat, melee power boosted by another 40%. Right? It's ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, both of these are super easy to meet the criteria for. Close combat's always been a really strong competitor for melee builds. There you go. It's not like close combat's a rare tag to get either. So. Alright. Protag close combat. Okay. The backpack. Here's our cutscene. Wolf's Howl, S power, D Pierce. Cutscene cooldown. Speed up. Melee attack up 39%, which is the 4th highest mod in the game. And then melee defense up. Cool. Finish Raphael, which what I wanted, worth to spend the rest of my heart on 36-hour. No idea. Once I'm done looking at the alterations, I'm actually going to hit up the 36-hour banner on this account and give it some rolls myself. So, wait until then. Cool beans. Protag high mobility. Pretty bog standard cutscene EX on a Sokai part. Alright. Sword Mace. When attacking with physical, enemy melee cut minus 30%. When armor is 50% or more, enemy melee cut minus 35%. Okay. So, in case you've been under a rock for the last few weeks, enemy melee cut and enemy shot cut and enemy all power cut have been a recurring trait we've seen crop up. Due to the way the game is coded, there is no floor to the way that this math works. So what it's supposed to do is the enemy, let's say, has one of those parts where enemy shooting power reduced by X%. This takes that percent and removes from it. That's what this should do. The game's coding doesn't have a floor. It can go into the negatives. These are effectively melee power boosts by 30% and 35%. The only criteria, you attack with physical and you have more than half your HP. Both of these criteria are excessively easy to meet. This sword mace hits like an absolute truck for free. Are you using a physical attack? 90% of the time, yes. We have so many physicals, including a ton of the yeets. Easy. Do you have more than half HP? I would hope so. It's so easy to keep your health at full, and you start the match at full HP. You get a 65% melee power boost for that. Absolutely bonkers. Protag, high firepower, cool. And twin maces. While Protag melee power boosted by 40%, as effectively all melee builds are going to be running Protag, that's a freebie. While close combat, buff EX skill up 35%. And do keep in mind, it is additive in this game. So for example, that boost melee power by 49% now becomes, 49, 7, 84%? Yeah. Literally just flat math. It's scary. It's scary. Yeah. The other weapon's better. This is still pretty good. Okay. So, as to be expected from the new poster child of the game for the next week, our 7-star Barbados Lupus. Slaps like a truck. Got traits like a truck. There's really not much else to say. Thing's a beast. Alright. Let's check out the Age 3 Normal. Alright. So we're going back in time to old welfare suits now. And older 4-star gacha suits and checking those out. Mostly welfare. I think all of them are welfare in this batch. Anyways. So, much like I said before, only going to be looking at the trait EX skills for this. Hey, Alan. Okay. So, long shooter job. Shooting crit rate boosted by 17%. Crit rate, still garbage. Completely worthless. With power attribute, mid-shot attack raised by 20%. Power attribute, very easy to get, but a mid-shot attack raised. What this means, probably not what most newer players think it means. When you have a ranged weapon and you are locked onto an enemy, you have a reticle on them. As you get different distances from the enemy, this reticle changes. Mid-shot attack refers to the distance between you and your enemy when you are at a mid-distance. You have close, medium, long, out of range. Certain weapons get boost when they're in the right range. SMGs at close range, beam rifles and bazookas at mid-range, the beam sniper rifles at long range, so on and so forth. With that in mind, you are getting a 20% boost when you are in the mid-range section with your neutral attacks towards your enemy. Not your EX skills, not your mid-shooter job, none of that. Mileage may vary. I don't think it's very good. Moving right along. Torso. No, it's one of your first suits when you started. Hey, Age event's always a good time to start. Age is pretty good. The Blustia Cannon. A- Pierce, B Power, medium cooldown, 15 seconds initial, 60 base. Fire big beams. Pretty much what's on the tin. Sure. B- power or B Power is not that bad. It's going to hit pretty hard. A- Pierce means most of the enemy's defenses are going to be ignored as well. I see that as a win. Nice little boost for the welfare. Arms. In Shield Beam Saber. A- Pierce, B+ Power. I don't recall the animation for this being very good. This is going to be a 100% mileage may vary. Personally, I think there are very few non-cutscene melee EX skills that are good because they're really easy to whiff. They don't have homing. You have like no iframe, so anyone hits you while you're doing them, you just lose your EX skill, so on and so forth. I think this is one of them. It has a really low cooldown though. On paper, it looks really good. Use it if you want to. It's a welfare part. Is that the one where you eat the cannon? I can't remember. We got the Age 3 normal forever ago, man. I can't remember what its actual EX skill animations were anymore. This is also why I've been saying for years, we need an in-game EX skill viewer so we can actually watch these skills without needing to get the part. It seems like such a common sense thing to include, you know? Like, out of all of the mobile games I've seen, not naming names, you guys can think of your own, dime a dozen, but whenever they add a new character, part, weapon, skill, anything to the game that has some kind of animation tied to it, they'll show the animation. This is the first one where that's not the case. Design decision. It's clearly working. I just don't like it personally. Okay, anyways, legs. When shot attack is over 10,000, super easy to do. Projectile speed boosted by 14%. Projectile speed boost is really not that useful. While for urban area, EX skill power boosted by 35%. I've already talked about the 4 line of tags, I'm not going to do it again. For urban area is still a 4 tag, no thank you. Mileage may vary, do what you will with it if you think it's a great idea. What it does is nice, give you the 35% EX skill power boost, but be gone 4 tags. Backpack. When physical resist is over 5,000, pretty easy to do. Shooting damage output boosted by 20. That is a flat number, meaning worthless except for like 1 mission. When all 3 Gunpla in squad are power, which is pretty easy to do, squad shooting damage plus 300. Again, flat number, not worth it. Oh, excuse me. Goodbye, have a nice day. And lastly, our beam rifle. The Sig Maxis rifle specifically. Beam ranged weapon reload speed boosted by 15%. That's only going to be for your ranged weapon slot, or in this case, your Sig Maxis rifle. When attacking with a beam, shooting power boosted by 30%. That is a really nice second trait to see on a welfare. That is what we live for. Super easy to do, attack with beam. Shot has 90% beam anyways. You know, there's some physical weapons in the game, but most of them are going to be beam. And tons of beam EX skills. Shooting power boost by 30%. That is something we normally see on Sokai suits. So, cool beams, great second trait. The first trait, not really feeling it. But the second trait's really good. Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. Alright, let's check out the Masala. So me and my brother have talked about, or my brother specifically is talking about wanting to cook masala here at home. We haven't had a chance. So I'm saying masala. And it just came to mind. I was like, oh yeah, right. Okay. Torso with an integrated head. So, EX skill, pressure, the template for our newer, the O torso with its big pressure. Use the force of your pilot's pressure to bombard, immobilizing them. It's an AoE stun. That's what this is. This is a very, very much mileage may vary skill. You either capitalize on it really well, or you don't. It doesn't do damage, it just stops the enemy from doing stuff. Do with that information what you will. Arms. It's also arm shield integrated. Grenade launcher. Attack enemies with grenade launcher in your arms. Cool. B plus power. D pierce. Low cooldowns. I wish it was magazine. It's not though. I guess that'd be too good for a welfare, right? I guess the Reboot had it. Anyways. Dime a dozen, B plus shot, EX skill, low cooldown. Nice to have, but way better than trial system. Yeah, sure, but I don't know. I've never found the AoE stuns to be terribly useful outside of very niche setups. So everyone has their own builds and stuff, so whatever floats your boat. Alright, legs. While Transformer, shooting crit rate boosted by 17%. Crunch that up in a ball, out the window, garbage. While Transformer, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Transformer, super easy to get your hands on. EX skill reduction of 20%, dope. Second highest highest mod in the game for that. Highest being 23%. Good stuff. First trait's a complete wash. Second trait's really good. Backpack. Back Mega Particle Cannon. B plus Pierce. B power. Medium cooldown. 15 seconds initial. 60 base. Fire the particle cannon. Get what's printed on the tin. B plus Pierce, Gonna ignore a significant chunk of stuff. B power is gonna hit hard. It's a pretty good combo. We do also have a ton of very powerful EX skills in the backpack slot, so take your pick. For a welfare, though, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And our Beam Saber. With Technique Attribute, melee damage output boosted by a flat number. No. 26% chance of attacks penetrating super armor. We've talked about super armor before, so you have a pretty much 1 in 4 chance of your attack making the enemy stagger if they are something that has super armor. Again, not something I think is really worth it. Okay. Cool stuff. Alright, Masala. Alright. Let's keep it up. Let's check out the Gray's Ein. When your stun lasts for only 1 to 2 melee swings and launch into animation, you can take hits get not out of antibody for Masala. But see, here's the thing. Is you're using EX skills that are easy to whiff by setting it up with a stun. On paper, that is a big brain move. I don't want the enemy to dodge this or get out of the way. Stop them from doing that. That is literally textbook. Great. However, you are now wasting 2 EX slots, one of them on a stun that doesn't need to be there if you swap out the less than average, or kind of mediocre, honestly, EX skill that requires these animations in the first place. Again, you do whatever builds you want. I know you're a good player, Mana. You know your stuff. So, obviously, there's a reason you do it. But from my point of view, I look at that and I go, those are 2 EX skills that can be completely different things. That don't need a stun or anything. Everyone approaches the game their own way. I just shoot things, and I use funnels from the Kshatriya, and I just have fun. I don't care. But I've never seen any game where going, I guess, suboptimal with a stun, wasting an EX skill slot to set something else up has gone over extremely well. I don't know. What do I know? Gray's Ein's my full welfare suit, early missions, double axes. Yeah. No. We've had some really good welfares over the couple of years. Some really nice ones. Okay. Check out the Gray's Ein head. Look at that. Alaya Vinyana. Speed up 20%. Melee attack up 39%. Good mods for a welfare. I got no complaints there. Alright. That's pretty solid Alaya Vinyana, frankly. Torso. Infighter job. 14% chance to survive a fatal blow. And when operated on auto, revive with 50% armor 1 time. So, when operated on auto, this means you must be in control of the suit. It can't be one of your associates, and it must be on auto while being played. So if you're controlling suit A and suit B dies, and it has this trait, it doesn't matter. You're not controlling that suit. It's not considered on auto. It's considered being controlled by an AI. Really limits the usage on this, because I don't know very many people that run content on auto where they're going to die. Just saying. Arms. 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 I guess you just gotta be firm. I usually run Suns in Battle Circuit. Maximum that. Yeah. So I'd be one of those scenarios where it's like, yeah, I can see that being useful if you're trying to get variety in your parts. Maybe you don't have the setups involved to just do your 3 builds with 10 resets on each part and just ace through it. Yeah, I can see kind of doing build variety, stuns and stuff working out. Yeah. Are those arms a cutscene? You see, they've added this really handy thing in the top right corner called Bindable. You can see it there in the top right corner of the skill window. Yes, it's a cutscene. A power, D pierce, cutscene cooldown. 20% speed boost and 29% melee boost. Okay. Do keep in mind, the melee attack boost for your squad sounds really nice. Until, you know, you look at it and go, oh, it's a physical shot. We actually have a shot EX skill boosting only melee. Moving along. Legs. It isn't the first one that does that, by the way. Cool. So it's like, what? One of less than 5 parts that do it? I just don't get why. Legs. Drill kick. A plus pierce, B plus power. Low cooldown. On paper. This looks really good. In reality, I would have to see the animation on this. Because if it's something that's easy to whiff, easy to get knocked out of, or any myriad of things, it's just not going to be that good. But hey, A plus pierce, B plus power, on paper, it's looking solid. Backpack. Stream Axe Rush. You know, I remember when I first laid eyes on skills in this game that had stream and rush in it. And a certain anime came to mind every time. And it makes me cringe a little on the inside. Every time. Every time. Okay. So Stream Axe Rush. A plus pierce, B minus power, low cooldown. Again, on paper, looks to be pretty solid. Depends on the animation, but based on the description, it looks like it's a copy-paste of other EX skills in the melee department that are just not that great. So, mileage may vary. I don't think it's worth it. And our dual sabers, the large axe. So, definitely more axe than saber. With speed attribute, enemy melee power reduced by 25%. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is what those enemy melee cut reduce things are for. This specifically. But you don't have any of those, it goes into the negatives. Suffer. And when armor is 70% or more, enemy melee power reduced by 30%. Hey, you know what? This part right here hard counters the Barbados Mace. There you go. The devs solved it in the same patch. Not only do they give you a busted weapon with tons of melee boosts, but then they counter it with a welfare part in the same patch. Huzzah! Like, in normal play, this is kind of interesting because it's a 55% reduction of the enemy's melee power. Won't do you much good, though, if it's a shot suit. Just saying. Alright, let's check out the old Sengoku Astray. This is the... this is the OG Sengoku Astray, right? This isn't the, like, new attribute version. Was there even a new attribute version for the Sengoku? Might be going to support suit. Do keep in mind, those traits, Alex, only work on the suit that they're equipped to. So if I'm enemy A, and that part is equipped on my ally suit B, and it's attacking my suit A, none of those effects do anything. Like, none of the reductions kick in. Starts attacking B, that's when those effects will kick in. So, it's really not even useful on a support suit. Okay. This is the OG one. I knew we had a second Sengoku. I couldn't remember if it was just an alt attribute or a BP attribute. Again, there's just so many suits in this game, man. I swear, you need to, like, dedicate your life to this game to remember all the parts in this. It's a wowzers moment. Support suits can be on the fragile side. Well, yeah, but that's why you invest in your support suits. Early on, your support suits are literally just there to be, like, buffer sticks or whatever. But later on, they should be relatively good. Like, not your primary suit good, probably, but still pretty good. Anyways, back to what we were doing. Sengoku, a stray head. Infighter job, EX skill piercing boosted by 28%. Okay. While heavy armor, recover 1,000 armor gradually. Okay. So, two things. First, this is, from what I recall, the highest recovery that we've seen on a suit. 1,000 per tick. That's actually a really healthy number. The recovering gradually is not great, but I think overall, that's a really high number. Now, here's the thing, okay? Something you guys need to keep in mind. If you are using this suit outside of arena, this is an extremely healthy heal. Because 1,000 per tick is a lot. Even the best parts only have, I think it caps out at like 11,000 armor or something like that, or maybe even less. So this is a significant heal for that. Significant. But do not even for a second think this will work in arena and keep you alive, because arena has a 5 times HP multiplier or some crazy high number. So this would just go right back down to 200. Long and short, if you use this outside of arena, this could be, just due to its number, pretty useful at keeping you alive if you find yourself taking the odd blow here and there for longer content, longer sustained stuff. Overall, but hey, you know what? It's a good heal. It's the best one we've seen. I thought arena's HP multiplier only applies to the enemy. So, here's what I want you to do, Mana. To test it for me. Because I remember doing an arena match where I had like half HP and I used Bisect and I got like a 200k heal or something. And there's no way my suit had 200k armor. Take a suit, go into arena with a couple of heal skills on you, take some hits, pop a heal, see how much you're healing for. Should be pretty straightforward whether or not there's an HP multiplier involved in there. I'm pretty sure it applies to everyone. Yeah, like Omar said. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Really high boost value for the heal. Could see some niche use outside of arena, but in arena, there's just no point because of the HP multipliers. Alright, Sengoku Astray Torso. Infighter job, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Golf Clap, great trait. When attacking with physical, melee power boost by 35%. Golf Clap, great trait. This is a good part. Both of its traits are very powerful, and this is actually something I would expect to see from a gacha part in more modern times, post Super Sokai. EX skill cooldown reduction and a really high melee power boost for cheap. But this is a very early suit. This is really good. Mwah. Beautiful. Says the guy who's lazy to test. I would test, but you know, I'm kind of doing this right now. You're not. You're just sitting there being a wise ass. All right. Sengoku Astray arms. Hidden arm and samurai sword. D pierce, A plus power, low cooldown, and reduces the enemy's melee defense by 19%. I'm pretty sure this was just a power boost from, I think it was B or B plus up to A plus. Cool. I'm talking me. Okay, well, just, you know, as I outsourced it to you, outsource it to somebody else. And we'll just keep this outsourcing train until someone somewhere along the chain decides, I'll do it. Okay. Arms, pretty neat. Legs. I know the backpack's a pseudo cutscene where you like run up, you hit them, and it does like the camera angle change and the ground like bursts. The arms are a Russian cut EX. Yeah. Okay. Legs. With module category equipped, EX skill piercing boosted by 28%. So for anyone that doesn't know what module category is, it's a very, very rare weapon type outside of the 1-star category. It is fists. It is really rare to see people running around with the one gacha fist that we got forever ago in Ahsokai. Yeah. With module category equipped, enemy melee cut minus 35%. This is really interesting. Oh, we have the Tonfa from Welfare? Right, Tonfas count too. Yeah. Anyways, long and short, module category, probably I think the rarest weapon type in the game. Not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it's the rarest weapon type in the game. You can get it from blueprints. You can get it from Welfare. There's gacha. But unlike the other ones, I think there's less than like 10 of them in the game. Yeah, around there. But are the trade-offs worth it? EX skill piercing boosted by 28%. Again, if you have a ton of EX skills that are just super beefy power and very low pierce, okay. And enemy melee cut minus 35%. As we've discussed, that is a 35% melee power boost. Overall, not bad for a mod. If you can get a good module on there, you know, something that doesn't completely nerf the shit out of you. Sure. Backpack. Particle Fajin. This is the one where you run at them, you smack them, and it's a cutscene skill, so you go into a cutscene for it. Shot attack your squad gets boosted by 49%, A plus pierce, A power. This is a very high shot multiplier, you know, 49%, but it is a physical skill made for a physical suit, not shot. The rest of your team will be very happy, though, if they have any shot machines. Your suit, not so much. But with the A plus pierce, A power, it will hit very, very, very hard. You just got the obvious trade-off of, why do you boost shot attack? Dude, really? And our shield. Yeah, it used to be a C power skill, but it got a huge boost with this, and I think it's warranted. It'll hit really, really hard. It's just really the buff afterwards that kind of rains on the parade. Anyways, the Oni no Tate. In fighter job, enemy strong melee power reduced by 30%. And when attacking with physical, EX skill damage output boosted by 300. Wow. To quote myself from high school, oh wow, this blows. Moving on. Our last suit for today in the alteration pool is the Thunderbolt Full Armor. Let's get going. Head-mounted Vulcan. Nope, moving right along to the torso. 7-barrel missile launcher. Physical shot, A- power, low cooldown. Alright, bog standard. Really nothing to see here that's anything new, folks. You know, you've seen them once, you've seen them all. Arms with integrated shield. Twin beam rifle and rocket launcher. Even though that could have easily fit on one line, the game has decided to parse it into 2 lines. Nice. D Pierce, A- power, low cooldown. Yeah, again, You've seen one, you've seen them all. I'm pretty sure this is, yeah, fire straight ahead with large beam rifles and heavy ordnance. This is pretty much what we saw with our gacha backpack, where it fires a beam forward and then a bunch of missiles fly out. Jirobi, I think you guys call it. Or Garobi, whatever. Seen them one, you seen them all. Moving on. This suit really didn't do anything terribly amazing. Especially more so now after so much more has been added. 6-barrel missile launcher, D Pierce, A- power, low cooldown. It's still a walking EX skill fortress. The arms are quick fire rather than Jirobi. Cool. End of the day, again, like, I'm not saying these EX skills are bad. I'm simply saying that they are not uncommon by any means. This entire suit, even when it was originally released, was all about, hey, we're packing as many EX skills as we can into a single suit. Lol, have fun. This is the same deal. Just after you've invested to alternate the parts, they hit harder or quicker, whatever. So, are these bad? No. But they're just not special. They're all just stuff we've seen from other suits, just, you know, recolored for this one. You know, just a palette swap, pretty much. Doesn't make them bad. It's just there's no point going in depth talking about them when it's, oh, hey, yeah, you know, they're no, it's not a cutscene, low cooldown, hits like a truck. Moving on. All right, and lastly, the backpack. Free improvisation, S power, yay, bindable, shot detector squad by 49%. Look at that. That's actually a good one. I will talk about this. So, we have a 4-star standard suit that has an S power EX skill post alteration, cutscene cooldown, that gives the second highest shot boost in the game. I think the highest is 59% and then 49%. Unlike Melee that had the 54% bridge, shot just skipped that number altogether. At least to my recollection. End of the day, great. Sure, just add it to the list of great backpack EX skills that just keeps growing every patch, I swear. No 59%? 49's the highest for shot? Alright. Melee bias, man. It's bring down the man. Alright. Cool beans. Alrighty. So, with that all out of the way, guys, let's hit up the gacha, but first, I want to grab a bunch of Haro chips. I have some stuff in here. I was doing story stuff before the stream started. Alright, if I do a few more story missions, we have another multi-pull, so I'll have 2 pulls to do on this account, so I'm going to do that. While we do that, let's talk about what this account has done since the last time y'all saw me last week. So, as you can see, we're on chapter 16.5 in the primary story here. We've made really decent progress considering the life of the account and being played extremely casually while still dumping a ton of stamina into the events to empty shops. With the last event, I managed to get all of the parts of the new welfare suit in gold and got them all to max skill level. As the Morgiana, whatever, was one of those really beastly, like, 9-part suits. That was a lot. That was a lot of event tokens. It's nice when the event has, you know, like 5 or less, because, you know, it's really easy to get all the parts for it and get them all to max up. Not only for the bingo, but just for collection purposes too. But an event like that, where it had a ton of parts, really puts a damper on that. I wasn't able to get as many of the awakening chips and stuff as I wanted. Which is kind of sad, but is what it is. Yeah. Beyond that, really not much else was done. It was just playing, or not really playing, using skip tickets on the EX event map, plowing through that. It was doing story in the odd times off. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I only had a few days between then and now, and most of it was spent doing real life stuff. Yeah. But honestly, for an account that's not even a month old, we're definitely a lot further along than I thought. Yeah. But I did find, playing casually, that we did hit a wall with some of the challenge content stuff. Because obviously, I only have one really built up suit. I haven't spent any money. All the stuff's been available the whole time, etc., etc. So, honestly, at the end of the day, I think this account did a lot better than I was expecting it would. I also realized that due to what I have available on my main account, I've misjudged a lot of the content that's been added to the game, because looking through the glasses of someone that's able to just, strike noir, backpack the problem away, suddenly I can't do that anymore. So it does require a little bit more of the brain juice. You could probably, if I decided to read up on what the gimmicks were, clear the gimmick batch of challenge missions, where it's like that one time where the flat damage boosts are actually useful. Beyond that, there's really not much. Like, perhaps upgrade the primary stat on this suit to like 70k or something. That'll be change gear related. Never did 6-star my shield, but at the end of the day, I never really got a good melee shield that I really felt like it was worth investing into for kind of a long-term setup, and my word tags were solved with all of the other parts, so. Did you grab some stuff from the metal capsules to try for the Buster head and back, or not? No, so I actually didn't do any of the event capsule rolls or anything. Just never got around to it. Plus, I've been focusing mostly on the one melee suit, and once this is at a really healthy spot, that's when I would start working on a shot suit. Unless, I roll the gacha, for example, the exclusive banner I'm going to roll after this, and it just throws shot part after shot part after shot part at me, then it's like, oh, you know what, I should probably get on that. But I did want to, with this account, try something a little different, and I am glad that the game gave me, at the beginning, a lot of the melee-oriented parts. It definitely did give me a different experience in this game than what I'm used to, playing primarily shot all the time. So, jinxing yourself. I don't care if I jinx myself, though, because this stream, and then I have to check, but I think this is the last stream I'm going to be playing this account on. I'll check, though, maybe Thursday as well. Don't know yet. But yeah. With that in mind, right, it doesn't really matter if I just rolled a bunch of shot parts now. It'd be more just like salt for the alt kind of deal. Now, with how my luck goes, this account in a single multi-roll will get the entire Kshatriya. That is like the true salt. That will actually tilt me. This account already got the arms on a freebie, for cripe's sake. The melee special. Quick forward step into a beam swipe. Ow. Why do corn chips have to be so good? I don't get it, man. Okay, and after this, I'll change over to the events and do the normal map, because that should give me the last few Haro I need to roll over. Because I only needed 190 Haro, I believe. And with this, that's 4 maps done, so that's 180. So I'm 10 shy. I could do another story mission, or I can just start doing the event. So I'll do one part of the event, because it also gives me a good reason to burn the excess stamina I'm about to get from clearing this map. Because we about to level up. I can actually take a look at that EX banner too, because I just know it by picture. The picture really stuck out from Fiora. Okay. So let's check our achievements, check our Haro balance, and go from there. Yeah, I'll take a look at what the banner actually entails in a moment, because I'm not sure of its value, but I'm going to assume it's pretty good. It's something they do whenever they have these, like, 36 hour banners. Or oh, I just do one-on-one match, I'll get 50 Haro. I'll do that real quick, because those don't take very, at least, shouldn't take very... Muscle memory, why do you betray me so? At least it saves me loading later. Okay, arena. Holy lag, Batman. No reason I should be lagging either, but here we are. Hayato Kobayashi, you're about to get Kobayashi Maru. Skill hack? Oh no! I think my halberd will still be sufficient. Oh no, just survived. Okay. So, let's go do those 2 gacha rolls and see what happens. Achievements. Claim. Gifts. Claim. Alright, and off to the capsule prize we go. So let's take a look at this 36-hour thingy-ma-what's-it. Okay, so we're always getting the E material, always getting an awakening circuit, get the exclusive exchange part. That's really nice. What? That's not even a fragment, that's the whole ass ticket. Excuse me? So we're pretty much guaranteed... So yeah, you're guaranteed a 6-star part that can go up to 99 in here. And you get an exchange ticket too? Hello? Bro! Let me in on this. Let's go. Looks like one of the 00 parts. GN Sword V Rifle, cool. You get 10 6-star parts from this. Holy crap, that is value. Heat Knife. Where was this banner when my account just started? Torso. Star Build Strike. That's really new. That's... Oh boy. Lots of weapons. Lots of weapons. Yo, is that Zabi though? Hey! We had some spicy parts. And yeah, someone pointed out all of the traits are 5-star as well. This is a really, like, high-value banner. What the heck? Clearly, whatever's coming soon is going to blow all of this out of the water, and that's why they're trying to get us to roll now. All these parts are about to become obsolete, so they're giving us all these parts now. Make people roll their gacha loads, and then they're going to just come out of nowhere and be like, hey guys, time to go to 9-star parts. Is that the Banshee shield? No, it's the Unicorn armored. Alright. Let's do another one! So much 6-star! Okay. Heavy weapon system, nice. This is like disproportionately weapons, which is interesting. Grenade launcher HBR, nice. Ah, okay. The second V backpack. Ah, the chonky boy. Finally, an SD part. Nice. Alternate trait freedom. Is AZ Gundam parts in this pool? I need the arms. I'll check real quick. They should be, though. Another weapon. Alright. Nice. Barbataris. Hello, doggy. Oh, that's the OG. The OG was power, really. I could have sworn it was technique. Okay. So, hey, what? Hello? Bandai, what is this? I know there's enough space on my phone. Hello? I'm at rolling the gacha, put my device over memory limit. Yeah, too many 6-star parts at once. The game just didn't know what to do and killed itself. Second temple you did gave more than just P attribute, if you noticed. No, I actually wasn't paying too much attention to the attributes. I was too busy just kind of looking at what I got. Alright, so take a look at the banner itself here. Wow, interesting. So, EX, drop rate. Yep, there's the AZ Gundam. Yeehaw. And, come on. Is there anything in my gift box? I didn't even check when I was on the menu. No. Cool. Shop. Exchange. And capsule freebie. We want our limited exchange tickets. And the A to Z's in here as well. So yes, you can get your A to Z fun stuff. Now, what do I want to get? Let's see here. I do need a new shield. Something is definitely up. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure they're just going to power creep all these really soon. So they're trying to give us the good stuff before they do it. Get us to empty our account so we have to spend. Leg parts, Kind of have a good first trait. I'll check the alternate. Enemy shooting power reduced. No thanks. High new, Yeah, it's polka dotted. Laminate. Lightwood laminate. Lightwood laminate. Oh, another laminate. This is going to be the Justices, right? Yeah. Imagine spending only 6K for full set. Mana, shut up, man. Low blow. There we go. All right, so let's check out the alternation for that. Come on. There we go. Crit rate boost. Ruined. Cosmo Shield. Yeah, skill power boosted when buffed. Crit rate boost, no thanks. None of these are really useful traits. You know what? I think I might just go with old classy here for the shot defense. I don't know. There's really not any good, like, trait shields. Kind of annoying. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll go with this. And this gives me a stupid amount of melee. I'll go with that. And then I have one more ticket I can use. Gotta be quad arms. We'll do it. Quad arms for everyone. Alright. Zeta Shield. Swap out with our Aegis Shield. Cool, I don't even have to do any investment on this. Still have all my word tags in order. Let's go alternate it. So I need the L badge for the Aegis. Yeah, no way to get it. Oh well. Okay. Well. So, with that out of the way, all done, wrapped up, finished, Gahulad. I'm going to wrap up this stream here. We've talked about all the new stuff, done a little bit of account update progress, rolled the gacha a few times. So, as I said, what I'm going to do, there is some stuff that you guys brought up. And yeah, we'll just do probably a 30-minute chill and chat thing. I'm going to kill this stream really quick, start up a new one. I'll be posting the link onto both my Discord and my Twitter. So if you guys want to join, just talk a little bit, hang out, we can do that. And it'll be short and sweet. I just want to keep this GBM, you know? Anyways, for anyone that was just here to look at the new content and stuff, thanks for tuning in as always. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days for the regularly scheduled stream. And we'll go on from there. So peace out. See everyone that wants to hang out very shortly, and everyone else, see you in the next one.